Welcome. This video is about reading. If I ask the class their attitude toward reading, many of you would say you don't like to read, or you just don't even read. However, that's not necessarily true, because you read lots and lots of pages of emails and texts. Many of you have probably even read all of Harry Potter and/or The Hunger Games. But most just don't like reading assigned textbooks. I certainly can understand that because sometimes I don't even like to read them. The biggest difference is because you won't be tested in the former, but will be in the latter. So the pressure is on for comprehension. I don't expect you to fall in love with reading for your courses. The expectation is to learn from your readings. Your goal as it relates to this topic and this class is to understand efficient and effective ways to accomplish your assigned readings. In other words, get the information that your professor wants you to know and get out. I want you to begin to think of reading as a process in which you do something before, during, and after. Also keep in mind the role that learning preferences plays in helping you be an efficient learner. The process begins with preparing for your reading. Your reading purpose is essential. It tells you what your professor wants you to get from the text. So ask yourself, what are you reading for? Is it technical terms and their definitions? Is it causes and effects? Are you looking for a method and then when you should use it? Are you looking for comparisons and differences? You know the answer to these questions. It's in the syllabus. If you need a refresher, replay the video clip, syllabus. Look at the information in the visual that displays the patterns that describe how information is organized. This is followed by subsequent visuals that show the patterns embedded in copies of syllabuses. Look at this first sample syllabus. Notice you need to read for terms and definitions. In this next one, you need to read for order sequence as well as causes and effects. The third, you are reading for comparison and contrast. Yet another, you are reading for simple list. And finally, an order sequence. Notice that recognizing these patterns helps to clarify what your purpose for reading the assignment is. So again, where can you look to help you determine your reading purpose? Well, that's easy. Start with the syllabus. In addition, the purpose may be gleaned from comments the professor makes in class, in the introduction or objectives of the reading material itself, or use the headings and subheadings, or in the chapter summary. But do you really have to read the entire chapter? Maybe not. There are really two types of reading, just like two types of notes. Skeletal, when we use the text as a resource to clarify or locate specific information. Courses where the major source of information is in the class, or studio, or lab. In those situations, you are looking for information to reinforce that which was presented in class or to clarify it. The other type of reading is comprehensive, when you do need to read the text completely. This is the type of reading where the major source of information is in the reader itself, or in the textbook, or in other reading sources. So the benefits for having a reading purpose and clarifying the type of reading is, number one, it increases comprehension. If you have a reading purpose, that identifies what you need to look for, and you know when you have found it. Two, it also increases your efficiency, so you use your time wisely by focusing on your purpose and not getting distracted. No wasting time, and more time to socialize or do something of interest. And finally, it increases your motivation. You know your reading has an end point. You have a clear goal, you know what you need to get out of your reading, and you know when you're done, and therefore when it is achieved. No more just turning pages cluelessly. Now that you know the before reading benefits, let's move to the second phase, during. You are learning by creating a study aid while you read. That study aid may be margin notes, a summary, graphic organizing, or even taping. Each of the strategies you will try this week include alternatives. So personalize your study aid by considering your learning preferences and how you will be assessed in the course. The benefits of this phase is that by creating a study aid, one, you are restructuring the information and therefore learning the material. If you can reorganize it, use your own words, relate the material to previously learned material, then you're learning. It has more meaning for you. 2, creating a tool for practice over time. Keep it on your smartphone or accessible and reviewed during shuttle time or commuting time. Remember, you are an academic athlete, and the more you practice, the better you will learn. Finally, the last phase of the reading process is after learning. Evaluate what you learned and what you don't know. So this is your review: developing test questions, creating a keyword outline for essay questions or papers, creating your own PowerPoint presentation to summarize the material. They all help you read efficiently and effectively. The benefit of this phase is obviously that 1, it helps you organize the material you have learned. 2, it gives you a jump start for learning the assigned information. 3, it helps you identify the information you need to spend more time reviewing. And finally, it provides tools ready for reviewing immediately. Suggestions for actions to take before, during, and after reading, as well as tried and true reading strategies, are described in Chapter 5. I want to draw your attention to TART, Charlie Reads Smart, X-Minute Reading, Flashcard Reading, and All Pets Are Smart, which were all developed by previous students in this class. So feel free to choose one and adapt the ones you do choose. My previous students are just like you. Some of them buy the textbook, never even open it, and then sell it for a used book. What a waste of money! You might as well get something out of it. And some read every word, devouring the ideas covered, getting lost in the reading and forgetting what information the professor wants to be focused on. So adapt your learning preferences to your reading in the course. And most important, remember where the major source of information is. That will tell you if your reading strategies need to be used for comprehensive reading or adapted to skeletal reading. I want you to practice a reading strategy that helps you prove to yourself that, if not enjoying, you can accomplish your assigned reading, not avoid it, and not have to reread. Enjoyment will come with a sense of accomplishment and the learning derived from it. It may sound complicated, but using a reading strategy will save you reading time and give you more confidence in learning the material in your course. Try it out. Success is at your fingertips.